everyone, my name is Sandton, Creative Director and Founder of House of FRS. So today we're going to be sharing a story about the making of our flagship store. So I work with two designers, which is Fiso Shange and Glorina. So I'm with Glorina today.
Hi everyone, I'm Glorina Mabaso. I am a pattern and product designer, the owner of Renaissance Design. I'm also an interior designer by profession. And with the House of FRS flagship store, it was more of a collaborative project between myself and Fiso Shange of Afri Modern. My role in the project was basically that of a project manager, and I was also responsible for the conceptualizing and creative direction of the entire retail store. Fiso is responsible for drawing up plans, as well as any cabinetry that needed to be manufactured off-site and then installed later on in store.
When I approached Glorina, the brief was, please use the Nguni print, take elements from our Nguni print and interpret them into an interior space. As you walk into the store, you are welcomed by our monogram print. So when I showed Glorina the monogram print, she went crazy and then she was like, we have to incorporate this into the store.
Yeah, no, definitely. I felt like it needed to sort of live as part of like the facade of the actual store where people can see it from the outside. And I think it worked perfectly. The only thing we did was to make sure that it spoke to the color scheme within, the actual store. So we kept it black and white, which is quite beautiful and clean and bold at the same time. And it was sort of also an introduction to say that this is sort of the new direction that the House of FRS is taking aesthetically. And this is going to form a very important part of the brand DNA. So the concept of the store was actually inspired by Zulu architecture and that popular Nguni print, that they're well known for. And so I took elements of the print and sort of created a brand new, bolder print and literally got it adhered to the wall and then painted in one color. And I feel like that really heightened the whole look and feel of the space. The print then became more of a texture than, a very visual print that is overbearing. In terms of the Zulu architecture, we looked at, just the form of the actual traditional hut. It has sort of like a dome type of form. And so we took that and incorporated it into the feature wall. So as you walk into the store, it's literally the first thing that you see, right?
It's like the dome, like the home.
Exactly. It's almost like welcome to my home type of thing, And we felt that it would add a certain level of elegance to the space, but also warmth because of that symbolism. And that same form was then translated into the fitting rooms, into the cubicles rather, the entrances of the cubicles. And that was intentional again because it's inviting her clients into her home. So I had to just look into beadwork because you can't speak about the Nguni culture without mentioning beadwork. It's a very important part of the culture. And it also has a language to it, So we decided to incorporate some of the diamonds as well as the triangles that you see in the feature wall, on the rails, as well as on the counter. And that's extremely important because it actually symbolizes a feminine being. And of course, the owner of FRS is a powerful female, but it also represents, the two women or powerhouses that have really left a huge mark in her life, being her mother and her grandmother.
So the counter with the diamond shape was designed by Fiso Shange from Afri Modern, and he actually calls it Banani. So which means our ancestors, my ancestors are with me. So I was like, this is perfect. So you bring that into a counter. So this is our counter. My parents are with me. This is where everyone is going to be bringing their money. So can you imagine how everything just tied in together? So he just converted that server into a counter.
Taking inspiration from Nguni cultures, such as the Ndebele culture. So we looked into that zigzag pattern, which they have usually on the exteriors of their homesteads. And oh my gosh, like I can't even.
Yeah, that is actually amazing, because when you see those zigzag on the homes and then you see our cabinets, the display units, it's just exactly that.
It's literally Nguni in Sandton.
Yes.
The actual cabinet was created in 2 stages. So first you have the actual box, and then they added the zigzag edges
and the gold trim.
Letting that become the actual edging of it was intentional completely, and then spraying it gold taps into another important part of
the brand, which is royalty. So we wanted to bring out the royalty factor of the brand, because Fabulous Sands stands for Fabulous Royalty Sands. So the gold, you know, Africa, we are royalty. We are known for our gold.
Yep.
And we are in Gauteng, the richest square mile in Sandton. So what better way, you know, to incorporate that? So we decided, let's add the element of gold into the finishings of the store.
It's not African prints, it's African inspired prints. And it's a Pan-African brand.
Yeah.
You know, trying to really preserve our African stories. And I love that people appreciate that.
Yeah, because I think it's important for us to preserve, because some people will see it as, you know, like a heritage month. I need to wear something that speaks to Africa, to South Africa, but to us, it's a lifestyle. We live and breathe our brand. We take inspiration from the culture. So Glorina interpreted in her way, in the prints that she does. We interpreted in the clothing. So that's how we tell our stories, through clothing. And Glorina, I mean, the patterns that she has done for us, we have collaborated on a few other patterns, the vendor-inspired print and the Tonga-inspired print. So it's always amazing to work with designers that when you come together, you speak the same language.
I also feel the same way. African preservation is definitely at the top of, or at the core of both of our brands, including Sfiso's brand. So like it's extremely crucial for us not to just celebrate culture only in Heritage Month or on Heritage Day. It's very important to have these conversations and to delve even deeper, because I feel like our generation doesn't really know a lot. And if anything, we're sort of like drifting far away from where we come from, you know.
But it's so amazing how our generation now, as much as, you know, they don't know the story behind the meanings of the motives and everything, but how they are now drawn into it. I've seen young ladies, when they go into a metric dance, when they go into their graduation, they now want to wear print, because I think it's the way that we present it to them as well, in a modern, classic way, because you don't just want to make it like a traditional kind of attire, and make it fashionable, wearable for them. So you'll see from the old generation to the young ones, everyone buys and appreciates what we do, which is amazing. For me, it's just mind-blowing.
But have you noticed how Africa has become at the very center of the world right now? You can hear it in the music, you see it in the fashion.
Yes,
So it's amazing to be in this generation in a way, and in this space where we are able to sort of express ourselves creatively, but without having to throw away where we come from, or forgetting where we come from. We bring all of that into one space, the modern, the cultural, the African, you know, and I say African because I don't like to just say South Africa. Because we have an entire continent. With like 50 countries, you know, so there's a lot.
Yeah, no, this definitely is a lot. If you haven't visited our store, we are cordially inviting you to our home, which is located in Gauteng, South Africa, at Nelson Mandela Square, at Ilifa Collective.
South Africa.
Yes.